Meat and potatoes, Andy. Let's get into this great segment here. 1996 to 2000 movies. Last week we did 1990 to 1995, and it is rough to try and figure those out, but we're making it work. There was a ton of good movies in this time period. They're playing with something up there. There's a ton of good movies in this time period, and if I were to list them all, we would be down here for like 7 hours. So I shrunk the list. We agreed and worked together on these lists. So you can't give me shit this time, Andy.
96 I'm going to.
How? What did I miss there?
We'll get to it.
Okay. So 1996, we have 4 honorable mentions. And picking the top 4 for these were tough, just to reiterate that. The honorable mentions are Beavis and Butthead Do America. I mean, dude.
Unit.
All right, where's the unit?
My unit?
Unit. He's going to score.
Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Message!
If you haven't seen this movie, the Wayans brothers are absolutely comedy gold in this movie. It is so ridiculous, but it is so damn funny. Scream, classic, absolute classic slasher. You can't go wrong if you're watching Scream. But it's not on my top 4. And Space Jam. Space Jam, if you haven't seen it, get real. Michael Jordan in his prime. So the top 4 are Twister,
Whirlybird.
Tin Cup,
4.
The Cable Guy,
Hey, I'm from Comcast.
and Happy Gilmore.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
I mean, Twister, me and Alicia just watched that again for, I would say like maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And I forgot how good that movie is.
That's not a moon. It's a space station. Dude, that movie was so great. And it ruined my childhood in so many ways.
What about Tu Wong Fu?
Now I know what he's talking about.
What?
Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything. It's Patrick Swayze.
Ah.
That is a good one. I don't know if I would put it in the top 4, but I think it should probably get an honorable mention.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Dude, it's Patrick Swayze.
I mean, Patrick Swayze is fantastic.
As soon as Patrick Swayze enters the building.
Which, I've realized that, because as I'm, like, doing research for these lists, I'm like, man, I wonder where this movie is. And I'll go, and it's, like, pre-1990, so we are probably going to have to, because one of my favorite movies of all time is from 1989.
Yo, RuPaul was in it.
Major League.
Troll Away. I like Trolls.
Yeah, we're not...
Anna Kendrick does the voice for the one of Trolls, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. Justin Timberlake.
I don't need to hear about him.
So, and I mean, Happy Gilmore. They're making a second one. It's going to be on Netflix. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Chubbs. Chubbs would be so disappointed.
Speaking of Happy Gilmore,
Happy?
I watched. It was I think it was Good when I was watching a video of theirs on YouTube. They were playing, and the guy that played Shooter McGavin was on the course ahead of them. And he came over. Well, they went over and like we're talking to him. He came over and did a guest putt. And he sank it and he did the shooter.
Hot shooter.
It was great.
Do you remember Rose Matter?
The band? I have their CD.
Shooter's gonna choke.
Oh, I didn't even put two and two together. Wasn't the
Dude,
the
yeah.
cover of their CD was
Yes.
Yeah,
with the
okay.
pants down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's between the Cable Guy
My
and Happy
fingers
Gilmore for
hurt.
me.
My fingers hurt.
I think
Mister. Hey, Mister.
I love
Sorry, lady.
Ben Stiller in that, where he's just like, you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
Ben Stiller. Oh,
I
your
always
fingers
forget,
hurt?
I always forget that he's in that movie until he shows up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. When he drops the air conditioning on the lady outside.
I think I just killed her.
You might want to get someone to check on that Mr. lady. It's Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the problem really is that, like, Tin Cup was really good, but it wasn't up there with them. Twister is probably the close second for me, but Happy Gilmore,
you
it's
can't.
it's iconic.
You can't go wrong.
Like, that's generational.
Yeah. It's just one of those movies that will just never, ever get old.
Neither will Helen Hunt in
The
a white
price
tank
is
top.
wrong, Bobby. When he gets in the fight with Bob Barker.
Who's the bitch now, bitch?
1997. This is a much shorter list because apparently 1997 they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna like take a break. But there were some big movies that came out.
Far
The honorable mention is The Fifth Element, which I haven't watched in a long time, but that movie is a classic. I've watched it probably 1,000 times. Mila
What is it?
Jovovich.
Earth, water, wind, fire. What's the fifth element?
I don't fucking know. Watch the movie.
Electricity? I figured you knew. You watched the movie.
I just said I didn't watch it in a long time, but it's an absolute classic. Bruce Willis.
No, you trying to go back to the 80s? Call Michael J. Fox. He's got the DeLorean.
So the top four: Titanic.
There was definitely room for both of them on that damn door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Titanic would have been better if it was about him and a cat.
You know, I want to know how Leo didn't get, like... He didn't win his Grammy until The Revenant? Right? How do you... Or is it Grammy or Oscar? Oscar. Is that the... Whatever the big award for actors is. He didn't get it till, like, The Revenant. How do you not give it to the dude in Titanic? That was a masterpiece of a movie.
I mean, Titanic was huge when it came out. Like, it was a big deal. It came, and I think it was actually on 2 VHS cassettes because it was so damn long.
I have it somewhere over there.
It's not something you want to admit in public, but
Dude, it's Titanic. It's a classic. I own it on DVD, too.
it's good. It is good. The soundtrack is better than the movie, in my opinion.
I mean, the scene where they're on the front of the boat.
So romantic.
Why don't we do that?
I think they still have one of those playground boats down at the...
We went to the Titanic Museum when we went to Vegas.
Apparently, the Titanic never really sank.
Conspiracies.
The theory is that the guy owned 2 boats, and the one was old and decrepit, so he pitched that one as being the Titanic, while the new one was okay, and then used the old one for the insurance money. But
The next one is Liar Liar. Probably my favorite Jim Carrey movie.
I hold myself in contempt.
Dude.
This pen is
royal blue. Oh,
and then the scene
what's
where
up,
he's
Fletcher?
smashing
Your
his
cholesterol, fatty.
weight 140.
Yeah,
in your bra. Dude, it's like the toilet seat The toilet seat.
I'm
Just-
kicking my ass. Do you mind? Yeah, that movie is so classic.
I think my daughter's coming close to seeing that one. So.
The next one is Chasing Amy, one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies. You've seen that, correct? I would hope you've seen
Yes.
that. I mean, Jason Lee, Ben Affleck. I actually met. It's like Jodie Taylor, something. Her name's really long. We actually met her at Monster Mania.
Maybe if you invited other people to go with you, other people would meet people too.
Well, you got to tell me that that's something you'd be interested, Andy. I can't read your mind. Next time we go, would you like me to invite you?
I'm going to bite off your head and piss down your throat.
And the last one is Flubber. I mean,
Robin Williams
Robin
again?
Williams. You can't go wrong with Robin Williams.
No, that man.
Absolute gold human being. So which one are you picking in the top four? I think we've probably made it pretty clear which one we're probably picking.
Liar, liar.
Liar, liar.
Titanic was great, but
Yeah.
Liar, liar was like, that was Jim Carrey at his
Oh,
best.
man, yeah.
That might be his best movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely up there. So 1998, we've got 2 honorable mentions. We've got Something About Mary, and we've got the Rugrats movie, which I just watched. We just watched with Lydia.
The first one?
Yes.
Where they go to Vegas?
No.
Vacation, all you ever
Isn't the
wanted. Or is the first one Dill Pickles?
Yes, that's the first one.
Or is it the same one?
It's Go Wild. Rugrats Go Wild. They get that little Reptar cart because they put dill in it, and it's supposed to get shipped. It's supposed to get shipped away, but they end up going out the front door with it, and they get lost in like the woods. So they get lost in the woods, and Tommy and them have to keep dill and stuff like that. And Tommy has this battle where he doesn't want his brother anymore, and he goes to leave him. And then they have this moment that's actually really sad, where they go into like a tree, and Tommy lays down, and Dill wants to take all the blanket, and he lays down with him, and Dill takes the blanket, and Tommy's like taking like this little sliver of blanket, and then Dill finally like shows Tommy like some like feelings or whatever, and he actually like they share the blanket, and that's like their big turning point as big brother, little brother. It's a really like moment where you're just like, damn.
It's still not as good as Brave Little Toaster. I will fight you.
The top 4 is Saving Private Ryan. I mean, one of the best war movies. Get off of your phone, you scallywag.
I'm dealing with some stuff.
When aren't you dealing with some stuff? Deal with it after the podcast.
No.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan. I think it's probably my favorite war movie.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
It's a good one, but The Patriot?
No, this is definitely better than The Patriot.
U-571.
This is probably better, yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
I don't really consider that a war movie.
Black Hawk Down?
This still beats that, yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this movie has just so many, like, good moments in it. You know, storming the beaches, Vin Diesel getting capped by the sniper, then the other sniper shooting through the dude's scope.
He did get his melon popped.
Basketball, which, dude, I could watch that movie so many times and it never, ever, ever gets old. You've
Never seen it.
What? You have never seen that movie?
Never will.
The fuck you won't. If we're going to continue this friendship, you're going to see it.
That look like? An execution? Damn it, man, I'm trying to save an innocent life! I'm giving her all I've got, Captain. I love ya, always have. Clear!
Do they play with an orange ball?
No.
What's it about then?
It's Matt and Trey Parker from the creators. It's the creators of South Park. They're in their driveway, and they're just they're talking about how they're going to pay their bills or whatever, and they end up creating a game called Basketball, where it's baseball and basketball combined. And they end up like making it a huge sport, like it gets its own thing on ESPN, and they become massive superstars, and their team's called the Beers. And
I'll consider it.
dude, it is a classic, an absolute classic.
What's next?
Waterboy,
Yes!
classic Adam Sandler at his peak. My favorite scene in that movie.
Mama
is-
says they are the devil.
Wait, is that from Waterboy, where the dude gets the golf ball comes in the window and hits him, and he's like, ah! He gets hit with the golf ball in the head. Is that from Waterboy?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it's from Waterboy. I cried and cried. Yes, because it's when the coach is like, I cried and cried like a 10-year-old girl.
I cried like a 10-year-old girl.
Water's better.
Gatorade. And then the last one is The Big Lebowski.
The dude abides.
It's a classic.
Market Zero. Dude, John Goodman, 9mm. Doesn't get any better.
It's a classic.
I think we almost had a couple of those incidents this year during League. Somebody's getting ready to pull some heat. It's like, I don't know if we really want to do that.
Whoa, which one are you picking? That's a tough one.
Waterboy.
I think I'm picking Basketball. Dude, once you watch that movie, you'll understand just with how absurd some of those moments in that movie.
Mama said Vicky is the devil.
Everything's the devil to you, mama. 1999. The 3 honorable mentions. Big Daddy. Yet again, Adam Sandler at his prime. Absolute classic movie. Microsoft's down 3 points, and he spikes the can into the ground. I can wipe my own ass. The Sixth Sense. I mean, Mel Gibson. But yeah, that had Mel Gibson in it, right? And that, I forget that kid's name. He was in a lot of movies from that time period. I think he was in a Jim Carrey movie too. That's absolute classic. You know, the kid. I see dead people. I see dead. Then Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
That's funny until a child actually says that to you.
yeah. If my daughter ever came down,
It
and was
wasn't
like,
mine.
I see dead people. I'd be
It
like,
was not mine.
Oh, you no longer live here now. Bye. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie, and it's not my first choice if I have to choose a Star Wars piece of content to watch. But it did start the original trilogy, and it started the story of Anakin Skywalker, and that storyline is by far one of my favorite storylines in Star Wars because it made that moment in Revenge of the Sith just chef's kiss. Now to the top 4. We've got She's All That, like the teen movie.
There she goes. That was Rachel Lee Cook, right?
Yes. Boondock.
Teenage crush right there.
This is like the atypical teenage movie. Like, if someone says teenage movie,
that was Rachel Lee Cook and Freddie Prinze, right? Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yes. It's the Janie, or I always say Janie, but that's
It's the one it was based off.
that's not another teen movie. Laney Boggs. Yeah. Boondock Saints, which, dude, that movie, me and my friends used to quote that all the time. All the time.
Boondocks was good.
The best part is where they're in that room with all the weapons, and he's like, I'm gonna take some rope, and he's like, what are you gonna need rope for? He's like, you always see the action movies, they always need rope. And then they're in the ductwork, and the ductwork gives out, and they hang by the rope, and they shoot everyone upside down. And then they get up, and he's like, what are you gonna need that stupid fucking rope for? Dude, absolute. Then they mess with Rocco. They pull him in, and they hold him down to the ground at gunpoint, and they pull out his gun. And he's like, it's a fucking 6-shooter. He's like, what were you going to do? Laugh the other two to death? Funny, man. God, I love that movie. American Pie. What I want to know,
Dude, like,
is why do we not get like movies like this anymore?
I can tell you exactly why we don't get movies like this anymore.
I mean, you can't.
You have any idea the quantity of lawsuits that would be thrown around with some of the
Yeah,
shit
but
that they
dude,
say in American Pie?
These movies were some of the funniest movies back then. I mean,
Well, yeah, people could take a joke.
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. And Fight Club, which, dude, one of my favorite movies of all time. Absolute perfection. There was literally a night where I watched it 5 times in a row. I literally just watched it 5 times in a row. It's so good.
Can we
Edward
just
Norton,
start one?
Brad Pitt in that movie? God damn, dude.
Oh, wow.
What?
Oh, wow.
Bro. Brad Pitt in that movie?
He's so sexy.
In that movie? I don't know.
Not just that movie. It's fucking Brad Pitt.
Dude, did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Dude, how old is he? Like, he's probably like what, like mid-50s? Maybe pushing 60?
Maybe.
Dude, whatever he's on,
I mean, I'm sure he's pushing something.
I want in. I want in on what he's smoking. I can tell you, I'm picking Fight Club. There, I don't think there really is another pick.
American Pie.
I can respect it, but Fight Club, dude.
Dude. Those 4 women literally became the face of America for how long?
Yeah,
And the whole
they were like
concept.
this one time at band camp.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's still Fight
And then
Club
what
for
he did
me.
to the pie.
What she did with the flute.
Fight Club is the GOAT.
Yes,
but I pick
Joe.
American Pie.
Dude,
Stifler.
God, like,
Stifler.
The whole concept of that movie is
Dude.
just like, it still like rattles my brain every
Which
time
one?
I watch it. Fight Club.
Yeah, no, that's wild. But also Stifler.
Yeah,
The idea, like, he started the Your Mom stuff.
dude, that you could never get away with that now. That was like
Oh.
huge when we were in
They're
high
still,
school.
they're still ripping it in elementary school.
Are they?
Oh yeah,
Damn.
I heard all about the roast of that yesterday. So
Really? Interesting. Because, like, I remember you'd be, like, walking down the hall in high school, and you'd say something, you'd yell something to your friend, and it's like, your mom does that, and you're just like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, see, for me, it was like, so my mom is actually relatively young in context.
Mm-hmm.
So in high school, she was even younger. And, you know, it was popular opinion that my mom was
Dude,
easy on the eyes.
there was a girl in my high school who her mom would come in and volunteer all the time. I think if I think back on it now, dude, she had it the absolute worst because her mom was like model level hot, and everybody just told her that anytime they say, she'd be down the hall and you'd hear someone from the other end of the building be like, "Your mom's hot," and it was just a thing. And dude, I feel so bad for her.
What's her
now.
mom's name?
Her mom? I don't know.
You'll have to give me her name later so I can figure out who her mom is. No, it was like, bro, I'll see you after third period. Your mom sucks.
So the last year for this week is the year 2000.
Yeet. Skirt.
We've got 4 honorable mentions here. We got Little Nicky, which Adam Sandler in his prime. I think this is a relatively underappreciated.
Put the chicken in your mouth and let the meat slide down your throat hole.
This is I don't think this movie gets as much praise as it should.
It's good.
It's good. Dude, Where's My Car? Which
Sucked.
what?
Okay, it was all right.
It was more than all right. Dude, I actually just watched this movie not too long ago. And
That's the one. That's the one with Shibby, right?
Yeah. Shibby.
Shibby.
Dude, when they're trying to figure out, they're trying to remember the night or whatever, and they are walking, and the hot girl from school or whatever comes over, and she's talking to whoever Ashton Kutcher's character is, and
Okay.
she's talking to him, and she's like, "Do you remember what we did last night?" Or no, he asks where his car was, or if she knows where his car is or whatever, and she's like,
Have you seen my car?
Well, I saw it last night. I mean, I saw the back seat.
Oh, I'm talking about the whole thing.
grabs his hands and puts them on her boobs, and he's big wide eyed, and then they him and the dude, what's his name, Scott, the guy that plays Stifler in American Pie. They look at each other and they're like, "Dude, you touch Christy Boner's hoo-hoos."
Who's?
And the tattoos. I mean, that's an iconic scene.
Sweet. What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet. What about mine? Dude, what does mine say? Sweet.
Absolute classic. Final Destination. That's a Look, everybody knows when they're following a log truck, they're to keep their distance. And Me, Myself, and Irene, which I think is a pretty underrated Jim Carrey movie.
It is. It's a good one.
Anything where Jim Carrey gets to play a two different characters that are way different from each other, and one's
schizophrenic.
when one's calm and stuff, and then he switches to the crazy outlandish Hank. Dude.
Hank?
The top 4.
Alrighty then.
The top 4 are Meet the Parents.
Woo!
Dude.
Pamela Martha Fokker.
Anytime I think of Meet the Parents, I just think of, I have nipples, Jack. Can you milk me?
It's Greg.
Greg, that's right.
Greg. Gaylord.
Gaylord Fokker.
Greg did take the MCATs, Dad. They're right here.
Scary Movie.
I got to let you know.
I think they're. I think I read that they're rebooting these, which will be interesting. But
What you doing? Chilling. Killing.
I love when he does like the rap and he's like swinging the hook all around.
I'm gonna slash cash, cut a hole in your ass.
Yeah, play ball all over these walls and play tennis with your balls. And then he stops and Shorty's like,
Oh
Dude.
shit, son.
dude.
Oh shit, son.
Peace. Yo. That was the illest rhyme I ever seen, son.
I think it's Scary Movie 2, where the big
My
pot,
good hand.
the big pot plant rolls him up and smokes him. Marlon Wayans plays Shorty. I mean, dude, those movies are so good. So good. And
Like, oh my god, it's the killer guy. How fucking perfect that you're here right now.
Ray, the guy that's, he might be gay, he might not be gay. He always, dude.
Nah, bro.
The shit that he does in that movie is so good.
I can do it myself.
Oh, that's David Cross when he plays the guy in the wheelchair. That's the second one. That's the second one.
Now you gotta stuff the turkey with your good hand.
I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna lick the shit out of that.
Oh, you're a fine one.
The next one is The Replacements. If you haven't heard of this movie, it is by far one of the best Keanu Reeves movies of all time, and I will die on that hill. It's a football movie. It's fantastic. Watch it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, that might be Keanu Reeves' best movie. Which still leaves it below the 100 mark.
No. And then we have another football movie that you may have heard of, Remember the Titans. What a we go from joking and about all the
Left side
from Scary Movie, strong side, from Remember the Titans. I mean, it's crazy to me that I forget his name in Remember the Titans. The dude that gets put into the wheelchair.
The one that crushes his Camaro.
Yeah.
And because he gets hit.
Yes. He is Opie in Sons of Anarchy. I think his name's... I forget his name in the movie, but...
He reminds me of Buzz from Home Alone.
Does kind of, yeah. Dude, Remember the Titans is probably one of the best sports movies of all time. It's got to be up there.
It's definitely in my top 5.
It's up there. The whole the whole concept of the movie is how segregation used to be, and then well, they start to blend that, and everybody starts to actually get along, and then him and it's the dude that I want to know his name from the movie. They become like brothers, and
that movie should be shown in every middle school and high school.
I agree that movie
that
movie I feel like has kind of been forgotten about.
Yeah, and it would really help right now.
That's a really good. I'm gonna have to watch that again soon.
Maybe if you invite me over outside of this shit, we could watch it together.
Maybe if I wasn't busy, Andy. What are you doing this? What are you doing this weekend?
We'll talk about that after.
Good answer. What are you picking out of these for? This is a tough one.
Kind of. Meet the Parents. I mean,
actually, Alicia has a good point. I think I did watch that when I was in school.
We may have to. I know they don't now. They definitely won't in my school district. Yeah, Meet the Parents. It's just
Ooh.
foundational. So, like, you look at the rest of them, like, Remember the Titans is big, like, real big, but I don't think it's Meet the Parents big. I see Meet the Parents as being, like, foundational for so many concepts that just perpetuated pop culture after that. The cat.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that line that you quoted that I'm not going to requote because I don't want to steal your thunder. But also, you know, well, Greg, when you have a toilet that doesn't flush and a septic tank that's nearly full, you might have a hell of a problem. That was life advice.
I'm going to have to go with The Replacements. Because that is one movie that I have watched from, like, when I was probably, from when I was a preteen through teenage years, and I still watch to this day. It's just one of those movies that, like, I watched, and then when I was going back, you know, watching old movies or whatever, that was just one that every time it was on, I just watched it. I couldn't not watch it. And actually, Barstool Sports, bless their souls, because they have a shirt that they made that is a quote from the movie when they're in the playoff game.
Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Falco, number 16 on the back. So I
And
was
it's
like,
overpriced.
I need that. I need that shirt. Dude, I love that movie so much. It's such a good movie. And I don't think it gets the glory it deserves. The dude that played the scientist that turns into the lizard in Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, the first one. He's the kicker in that in The Replacements, and he's like a real scrawny guy, and he's like bad into debt and gambling, and they want him to throw the game because he's kicking a field goal for the one game, and Falco knows that, you know, they don't want to throw the game, so he goes to kick the field goal, and Falco just pulls the ball and does a fake and runs it into the end zone. And it helps him out and stuff like that. Dude, it's such a good movie.
It would probably be an amazing movie if Keanu Reeves wasn't in it.
I think it's a good movie because Keanu. There's two. See, I'm not the biggest Keanu Reeves fan. Well, I wasn't at the time. I wasn't a big Keanu Reeves fan. But there are two movies of Keanu Reeves that are some of my favorite movies, and that is The Replacements, and the other one is Hardball. Please tell me you've seen Hardball.
Yes.
That movie is so good. What?
Moneyball.
Yes, Moneyball's good, but Hardball. G-Baby.
Keanu Reeves.
G-Baby.
Keanu Reeves.
G-Baby. And the Cucumbas.
Use AI to remove Keanu Reeves and it'll be better.
What is your deal with Keanu Reeves? Do you like the John Wick movies?
You
suck. How do you not like the John Wick movies? You're not an action movie guy, are you?
Oh, I love The Transporter.
Of all movies to like, you choose The Transporter?
Bro, he's a badass.
Isn't that Jason Statham?
I think so.
But still, John Wick? What? Who is this man?
I don't like Keanu Reeves. I don't like the...
I'm really not the biggest Keanu Reeves fan, but I am, because some of his movies are some of my favorite. The Matrix I still don't get. I will never understand those movies.
I think that's where the hang up is for me.
I
just see him as...
I never really cared after the Matrix movies. But next week we'll get into 2001 through 2005, which, dude, I feel like these lists are just gonna get harder and harder during those, at least during those years.
Yeah, well, that was the best time to be alive.
Oh man,
that was the best time to be alive,
those lists
except for the war in Iraq. I mean,
those lists are gonna be. How are we gonna narrow those down?
I have already offered insight on this. I don't think we should be doing 4 and 4. I think we should be doing 6 and 6, and then you pick one, and maybe like for 1 year we get to pick 2.
I like having to pick one because it puts us in this little moment where we're just like, shit, how are we supposed to choose?
And I'm fine with that. I just think
I
think
like
more options is. I don't think 6 options is too many. Like 4 options is cool. It's a nice I get the quartered number, but
I'll consider it if they get too difficult, which they're right on the cusp now. But with 2001 through 2006, those are going to be rough.
Well, yeah, and by the time...
And 2006 to 2010 probably is going to be rough, too.
Dude, that's super bad. Like, one of those years is super bad, I promise you. I think it's 2007.
Yeah.
Maybe 2008.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of movies from there where it's going to be like, how am I supposed to narrow this down?
I don't know, but I got to catch a glimpse of these warlocks.